The latest initiative from the Multifaith Climate Action Network isn't a new one. Protest songs. However, as part of their preparations for their latest protest, the group is working on their own protest songs and reimagining songs from each of the faith traditions that make up the network. That protest is taking place on Tuesday, and to tell us more about it, we've reached Lynda Trono with the Multifaith Climate Action Network. Good morning.
Hello. Good to be with you.
So, for those who may not know, what is the Multifaith Climate Action Network?
We're a small network, and we formed late last summer, in response to the call from the Wet'suwet'en people, who were struggling, particularly with the Coastal GasLink pipeline and all the stuff around that and the fear for their traditional territory. So we were responding to that and we still are.
And what kind of events has the Multifaith Climate Action Network organized so far?
Well, we've had one silent vigil outside an RBC downtown, where we just, we did some speaking, but we held RBC and our country and the world in prayer silently, and because we're fearing for the future of this planet.
Why are you addressing this protest at RBC specifically?
So it's not like all the banks are doing this, right? They're all funding fossil fuels. But RBC is the largest in Canada, and it's the fifth largest in the world. Since the Paris Agreement, they've put in $262 billion into fossil fuels. And since they made an agreement with to get to net zero, like an international agreement where they made a commitment, they've put in another further $10 billion into fossil fuel expansion. So we want to hold them accountable.
So you were doing silent protests, but now you're going to be, you've created this restorative banking choir. How did that idea come about to sing?
Well, music is very powerful. It connects us with our spirit and with our community. It's something we can do together and express ourselves and express our concerns. So we talked about how we would respond, how we would call on RBC. We talked about silence, prayer, music, art. So this one is music, and it's turning out to be pretty popular with people.
So in the lead up to this protest, you've been hosting workshops on how to write a good protest song. So what have those workshops been like?
Yeah, well, we had one workshop a couple weeks ago with John Sampson Fellows, and we're having another one today at 2:00 at Home Street Mennonite Church, and. It's been practicing with our voices, but also looking at a piece of music, saying what we like about it, thinking about how the words could be changed, how we could put new words, and with considering the meter of the song and the rhythm and what we want to emphasize. It's been a lot of brainstorming together.
Yeah, and what have you learned about what makes a good protest song?
It's the message. I think it's getting the message across in a way that's going to connect with people, and a way that connects with us, what we want to emphasize.
Would you be willing to share an example of something you've been working on?
Oh yeah. Well, this one actually, John wrote this one a while ago, and but we did practice this one, and we are going to sing this one on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. So I'll sing you one verse. Oh, RBC, now everybody knows time's running out and each projection shows clips of our future dying by degrees. All for the bottom line of RBC.
So your choir, you won't be the only musical offerings at this protest. There'll be other music there as well, I understand.
Yes, we have the Raging Grannies joining us.
Okay.
We have a Jewish singing group coming, and we have a solo being sung by a father.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. So it sounds like you're bringing a lot of people together.
We are. And you know what? It's the future of the planet. We're in this emergency life and death situation, and it's not business as usual. We need to call attention to this and get some kind of response. Because, like, RBC is a leader in the corporate world, and they could be doing something different, and they need to take that seriously and start, instead of ramping it up, they need to start to gradually take us out of the fossil fuels.
Lynda, thank you so much for making time to speak with us. Really appreciate it.
Okay, and people are invited to come on Tuesday at noon to the RBC on Corydon, 1700 Corydon. We'd welcome anybody to come and join us and sing. We have words for everybody.
Lynda, Trono is one of the members of the Multifaith Climate Action Network and its Restorative Banking Choir. We reached out to RBC for this reaction to this protest, and in a statement, here is some of what Andrew Block, RBC's Senior Director for Climate Communications, had to say. Quote, "Climate change represents a significant goal challenge. As a financial institution, we are focusing our attention where we will have the biggest impact, helping our clients reduce their emissions and supporting initiatives that bring green solutions to market. We are committed to achieving net zero in our lending by 2050 and have established interim emissions reduction targets that will help us drive action and measure progress." End quote.